Okay, it's Cat Shades. I am the heavy metal picker, and today I'm going to tell you about a couple letters I got from Richard Ramirez. I wrote him a couple times back in the late 90s. What prompted me to do this, you asked? Well, at the time I had been introduced to Judas Priest's Painkiller album. Now, yeah, I know the album came out in 1990. I didn't actually start getting into Priest until 1998. Um, I had no idea that they were that awesome until, I was 21. Yeah, I had a lot of work to do. We didn't have YouTube back then. We just had, Headbangers Ball and, the radio and the same three songs you'd hear on the radio, Living After Midnight, Breaking Law, Screaming, or sorry, You Got Another Thing Coming. Those are good songs, but, Priest has done a lot better. Their deep cuts are where it's at. But the Painkiller album was really heavy, and it had a song called The Nightcrawler. Now, the Nightcrawler is a priest beast. A priest beast is a character. Could be human, could be robot, could be spiritual, could be an animal, mythical, or whatever. And in this case, the priest beast is a human. The Nightcrawler, it implies that he is lowly like a worm. And anyhow, reading the lyrics, I thought, oh, geez, this reminds me of Richard Ramirez, because I was reading a book about him at the time. I think it was just called The Nightstalker. And if you check out the lyrics, it's about a killer and beware the beast in black. And Richard Ramirez liked to wear all black. So I wrote to him. The first letter I got from him, it's lost somewhere. But it was just like, I asked him like what he thought of this book. And he said, well, I don't really think it's about me. And we just kind of dodged the question. And I asked him if he'd heard Judas Priest Nightcrawler. And he says, well, I don't think it's really about me. I asked him if he had seen AC/DC because he liked to kill people. He was wearing this AC/DC hat. He was, he enjoyed their song Night Prowler. That's a good song. Very, it's about a criminal who just goes around prowling. It's a really good song. And anyhow, Richard lost his AC/DC hat at one of the scenes of the crime. So my questions was about music. He said his first concert was a band called Savoy Brown in 1974. He said he saw AC/DC live in 1976. They must have been fairly unknown at the time and probably, high voltage and not too much else was out at the time. So he must have caught him at some relatively small club show in El Paso or LA or wherever he was living at the time. So here is the letter that I do have that's survived all these years. You can tell it comes from San Quentin State Prison. And he says, "Hi, Cat Shades. Thanks for the stamps." Every time anybody would write to him, he'd ask for like stamps or a money order. I watch TV for fun and listen to the radio. I sleep too. Send pics of chicks. So he wanted me to send pictures of women to him. I could use a money order. Take it E-Z. Richard Ramirez. So there you go. He's got this Starry Night type background. I guess he could just write whatever he want on these things. So what do you think? Do you enjoy the Judas Priest song Nightcrawler, which is most definitely about Richard Ramirez? And how much do you think this letter would fetch on eBay? I don't think you can post letters from serial killers on eBay. But it's been with me. What was the date that this was postmarked? Let's see. June 21 of 2000. The first time I wrote it must have been around 1998. No, I don't have any other letters from any other serial killers. I was just mainly interested in what he thought of that song. Tell me what you think.